All right, welcome everybody. Happy Sunday night. Whew, what a weekend. I actually was thinking about not doing a live this weekend, but my God, I spent some time over on X and there's just way too much. Way too much. And I mean, between Iran and Kash Patel announcing arrests and Candace Owens getting her entire career destroyed by Loomer. Oh, man, we got a show tonight. We have so much to talk about, so I had to show up. Plus, I'm rested. I'm feeling good, baby. Had a good weekend, ready to hit it hard, ready to just, man, this is going to be a good week ahead. I can feel it. I can feel it in my belly. So if you guys are ready for a good one, hit the like, hit the subscribe before we get started. Let me shout out to the chat, and we're going to get right into it. What's also great is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a little early tonight. So, props, can you guys appreciate that? Just, I did it for you guys. I did it for you, just so you know. What's going on? Cat Sync, numero uno tonight. Toe Cramp, Uncle Andy is here. Vince Felice, my brother. Tesla and Joe, how's it going? Jen MAGA, Lay. Well, how do you say that? Harsano? Is that French? US1 Tahoe, what's going on? Waffle Bacon. Waffle Bacon. Pedro Tino. Pat M. Scott Volkovich is in the house. Frank Anastasio is here as well. Bobby Girl. Linda Telly. Tammy Anderson. Shogun MQ. Max Calentine. Random Vintage Film. We might need to talk, Random Vintage. I used to be a film critic. I love film. Pullman Mudblood Beer. That's an interesting one. Haven't seen that one. Been in the kitchen. What's going on? Ray Sandoval, my brother. What's up, man? Robert Kapke. Long time no see, my friend. Dan the Man. What's going on, buddy? Michael Granite. Anthony Dana. And Red, California. I love it. I grew up in Red, California. Believe it or not, it's the majority of California. When you're there, you know. Johnny Strayhorn, what's going on, my friend? Listen, somebody the other day got mad at me. No joke. They got mad at me because I do shout-outs to the chat in the beginning. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm sorry. If you just want clips, watch the clips. But this crew, these peeps, been with me 3 years and a quarter. We're growing, and the community is always going to be a part of this show. Always. I don't care if I have 1 million subscribers. I will figure it out because it's, the audience matters, and I learn from you guys. You guys challenge me. I love it. So the shout outs will always continue. Obviously, if I have 1 million subscribers, I won't be able to do shout outs in the beginning. It'll take an hour, but as long as it's reasonable, they're going to be done, and then we'll figure out something else eventually. But that's just how it's going to be. Sorry if you don't like it, but poo-poo on you. Somebody else was mad about something else I do on my show. I'm like, listen, I'm not produced. I'm not owned by anybody. Nobody pays this man. I do the show the way I want to, and you can like it or not, but I guarantee you'll get authenticity here. You will learn something. You will be challenged. You can challenge me back as long as you're respectful. Otherwise, you'll get banned. And, that's how we play the game. So I did good. Awesome. See? Some people think that I am not Coach Ed, but I am. Just a little bit for an American. So, AK Downrange. Yeah, buddy. I got to be a Niners fan for life. Daniel Lombardo, Saved by Grace. How's it going? Max Calentine. All right. Now we'll get into it, okay? For all the salty folks who think we take too long. D6 in the house. All right. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll get going. I'll stop in the chat. Oh, real quick, chat note, because I always get new people. Listen, I love getting involved in the chat as much as I can, but here's the deal. The chat moves fast once everybody gets here, and the only way I can see what you wrote me is through you tagging me or through super chats, okay? And so, whatever you want to do to try to get my attention, if you really got something you want to ask me or question me or whatever, disagreements are welcome, but do so honorably. Trolling is not welcome. There's no First Amendment in my house, okay? It's government, not for me. But not that I don't believe in the government being prohibited, but in my house, trash will not be tolerated. Trolling will not be tolerated. So the mods know exactly what I like, and they will kick you out if you're a dick. Otherwise, challenge away, disagree away. It's a good peeps in the chat. All right, let's get going on this. All righty. This weekend, guys, things ramped up a little bit. So on Friday, we got Trump blasting out all these terms that the Iranians had agreed to. Turning over nuclear, opening up the Strait. And listen, Trump didn't make that one up. The Iranians came out and said, we're opening up the Strait. All right. So listen, that's what sent the stock market going over up 1,000 points. It sent oil down below $80 for a bit. Everybody was like, the war's over. Trump's out like they're agreeing to this. They're agreeing to this. Everything looked good in the world. And then Saturday came. And on Saturday, the IRGC came out and said, we are not agreeing to terms. And they shot at 2 boats, both having Indian flags on them. So what happened? Well, Trump came back today, said an Iranian flagged cargo ship named Tuska, nearly 900 feet long, weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade. It did not go well for them. U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS Spruance intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board. Very, very interesting. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Okay, a lot of questions, and some of those questions are going to be, how did Trump get this wrong? What's going on here? Did he lie to us? Well, a couple things can be right at the same time. What is clear to me at this point, and after analyzing it a lot through some of the smartest people I know, doing my own research as well, it appears to me that what's going on right now is a civil war within Iran. Trump is talking, whoever they're talking to, is trying to get this done, trying to end it. But the IRGC, which is the branch of the government, that's the Iranian something guard, they're the wing of City of London. The Khomeinis were owned by City of London as well, but the IRGC, Muslim Brotherhood connections, just you do the math, you can connect them to City of London, and it would make absolute sense that they are the ones putting their foot down when others are trying to save their country by making a deal. That's what it looks like to me. There's competing factions here, and they are fighting over control of Iran. Now, we've always known that there were 2 factions in Iran, not counting the people. I'm just talking about the 2 factions that have been in control for a long time, and they've been in control at the same time as each other. The Khomeinis, the religious political leaders, and the IRGC, mostly the military leaders. All right. And then you have the people. Those 2 factions, and maybe a third, are fighting right now over control, while the people might be working on rising up. And that's what we're seeing right now. We are seeing them fight it out in real time. And once you put that together, it makes absolute sense what we're seeing. And Trump, in Art of the Deal, he's doing it. I don't know how many of you have read the book Art of the Deal. It's a brilliant book from the 1980s. Still reads really well and easy today. Well, one of the things Trump likes to do is announce the deal details and what he's aspiring towards as the wins ahead of time, putting pressure on the other side. This is something he's done forever. And it works almost all the time. In fact, most of the time what it does, Trump always knows he's got his big ask and then he's got his acceptable ask, or like his acceptable terms. You go big and then you bring it up. And that's what we're watching Trump do right now in real time. And what's interesting is the markets are clearly betting on Trump because they know he almost always gets this done. Almost always gets this done. So can't wait to see how this plays out, because it's pretty clear. This right here. So these ships, the Chinese ships, 6 more ships came from China coming towards Iran. They were turned away. They turned around, went away. Iran is being sieged. Okay. They can't get any money right now. They're not getting oil out. They are within just a few days of having to shut off their oil wells, and then maybe being set back several years in their oil production, absolutely crippling their economy. So the time bomb is ticking. This isn't going to last much longer. One way or the other, this is going to end. And what's interesting is whether the IRGC is going to force them to go all out suicidal, which is by fighting back against this. Because this whole time this has been happening, the ceasefire, we've actually been positioning more ships in the area too. We're weaponized. We've stocked back up. We've been targeting their leaders back and forth. We've had time to target everything. If we unleash again, it's going to be even worse than the first 3 days for them. They can't win this. And so it's either they go on a suicide mission, which is normal for these types of people. I mean, think about Islam, suicide, 77 virgins. If they're all full believers, plus their handlers, City of London, might not let them cave. We had that joke of a thing this weekend where once the Strait of Hormuz was declared open by Iran on Friday, the Starmer and Macron and a bunch of the cronies in the EU got together. Were like, no, now we're going to send our own barricade to the Strait of Hormuz to ensure it stays open. And Trump was like, stay home. We got this. We don't need you anymore. And it's absolute joke. They have no Navy what to speak of whatsoever. They don't. The UK doesn't even have a working aircraft carrier right now. Absolute joke. And if anybody can't see the difference between Trump now and like after Iran, it is so obvious Trump is not part of the deep state. If anybody still thinks Trump's part of the deep state after this war, you're honestly retarded. You just have no idea what you're talking about because you don't follow any of this. You're just too busy listening to Candace Owens, who just had her own career destroyed this weekend by Laura Loomer. That's where we're at. This has made it more obvious than ever. If Trump was part of the deep state, the EU, UK, they'd be sucking up to him all over again. The Democrats would be thrilled about this. But this is the first war in forever, going back before World War II, where in the beginning of the war, America wasn't united and the UK, NATO weren't on board with us. That's all you need to know right there. It's that simple. Sometimes things really are that simple. Watch and see who your friends are. It's crazy. Even in Iraq and Afghanistan, the Democrats were on the side of it at first. The Democrats were. We saw 70%, 80% approval for it. Split. The deep state hates this war. They know what it's doing to them. They know that it's giving America more power than ever before. We now control all the major straits in the world. We're finishing up Hormuz, but that will be done. It's crazy. Making the deals over in Indonesia. I mean, come on. This stuff it's so obvious at this point. So if you don't see it, I mean, come on. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You can make all your other stuff about Trump. You can have all your other disagreements. But if you still think Trump's deep state and one of them, you don't have a working brain when it comes to politics. I'm sorry to be mean, but it's true. It's absolutely true. And so, all right, so here's a little more on what happened with this Tusko. This is actually a pretty crazy story here. Mario Nafal, caught in the act. Iranian cargo ship Tusko tried sneaking past blockade toward Bandar Abbas, ignored 6 hours of warning. Don't say we didn't give you time. USS Spruance said, nah, fired 5-inch rounds straight into the engine room, killed the engines, and Marines from the 31st boarded it. Ship's now in U.S. custody. Blockade means blockades. 25 ships warned before this one learned the hard way. It's testing it next. We're doing exactly what we said we did. We're enforcing it. They're testing it. They thought that maybe we were bluffing. But somebody said this weekend, which was so good, I think it was Victor Davis Hanson. He said sometimes Trump will lie in the midst of his deal or midst of what he needs to get done, but he never bluffs. And that, my friends, is absolutely true. We've learned that for the last 10 years with Trump in power in politics. Sometimes he lies on the way to the deal, which I would say is misdirection most of the time, but he never bluffs. So you FAFO, and that's what happened with this ship today. I mean, you could see some of the footage here.
Motor Vessel Tosca, vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room.
I mean, it's on video, so smart. Now everything's on video. So here's a great little clip talking about what's going on this weekend.
East of the Strait of Hormuz. He says that vessel is now in Marine custody with a hole blown in its engine room. Meanwhile, Tehran reportedly is refusing to negotiate with the U.S. in Pakistan. Senior Foreign Affairs correspondent Greg Palcott is live from Tel Aviv with the latest. Greg.
John, there are new questions about those planned upcoming talks between the United States and Iran as the U.S. and Iran face off in the Gulf. The U.S. Navy is enforcing a blockade around the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump just recently has said a naval ship intercepted an Iranian vessel that tried to get past the quarantine, refused to stop, forcing the U.S. to target this ship. And for the first time during this operation, U.S. service members went on board. He said in a post, in part, our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. That's very crucial. U.S. service members on an Iranian ship. All this comes as talks are planned for Islamabad starting Tuesday between the U.S. and Iran, just ahead of the current ceasefire running out midweek. Now we're hearing from Iran as well, referencing the U.S. naval blockade and the rhetoric coming from the White House, indicating they might not even take part in the talks, or at least they still haven't decided. One state news agency blaming, I'm quoting here, Washington's excessive demands, unrealistic expectations, constant shifts in stance, repeated contradictions, and the ongoing naval blockade, which it considers a breach of the ceasefire. John, we are waiting on a final move from both sides to see if this is just a last-minute posturing and some skirmishing or a real breakdown in the diplomatic path. We will see in the coming hours and days. Back to you.
The constant shifts in stance, that's unusual. The White House, it seems, at least from the talking points that have been released on the U.S. side of things, they've been pretty consistent about what they want from Iran.
Very consistent, yes. I mean, key points, and I think we still have to keep going back to the central issue that's at the heart of this, and that's the suspect nuclear program of Iran. The U.S. is demanding that the highly enriched uranium that Iran has be shipped out of the country. The enrichment process ends in any thought of Iran.
So going back to the nuclear, which we're going to talk about more here in a second, Trump announced that they had agreed to turn it over on Friday. So it makes me think that they are, again, it's the warring factions. One of them wants to get rid of it, wants to move on, wants to get Iran on track. Very similar to what happened in Venezuela. But Venezuela didn't have a whole other army that's separate. So this is very interesting. Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner are supposed to be, I can't remember. Vance was going to go, then he wasn't going to go. They didn't want to send him because of security reasons. There's some mixed reporting on whether or not he went. But they're over there right now, and Islamabad, and they don't even know if the Iranians are going to show up. But Trump has said this morning that if there's no deal anymore, it's going to be on again. The ceasefire ends on Tuesday. We're not that far away. We're also very close to, again, their oil being dried up, because the way Iran is, they have only 2 weeks of reserves. Once those are topped up, they have to shut the pumps off. They shut the pumps off, they lose all the pressurization in those in those wells. And once they lose that pressurization, depending on how much it goes down, it could take them. Some people are saying some of those wells might take 10 years to come back. So that's going to be absolutely crazy to see how that plays out. Now, Here's a couple. Here's some good breakdowns I saw this weekend. Now, I'll get to Tom Luongo in a second, but this is an observance here, and I thought there's some interesting things in here, although I don't agree with everything here. But still, I think it's important to go through. So, this guy believes there will be no deal. Ceasefire will end and war will recommence. Second observation, U.S. has been flooding the theater with reinforcements, resupplies, performing maintenance on air assets, nonstop rearming warships. Force is ready and larger than it's ever been. Trump is not messing around. He didn't just announce that ceasefire and like be like, cool, we'll move away now. No, he's doubling down. Every key player left in the regime surfaced from the hide holes and safe houses during the ceasefire. The negotiation team sent to stall America, IRGC thugs who showed up in Islamabad to stop the regime delegation from making deals, mid-level staffers going between RGC leadership, are shooting at ships. All of them broke cover and came back up on the grid. From that point on, they are visible to human intelligence networks watching them. Persistent ISR assets watching 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without pause. Spy satellites, stealth, non-stealth drones, manned reconnaissance. From the moment the ceasefire started, everyone as a key player in Iran's continued resistance came back on the grid and have been surveilled ever since. It says when the ceasefire ends, strikes will begin with such rapid speed, it'll be more savage than the first round. Next, Iran got drones, SAM missile systems, radars from China during the ceasefire still ongoing. This is what's driving the remnants of the IRGC to continue the war. Very interesting. It would make sense if they think that they're stocked up, or at least a little bit. It gives them a little hope. But this is where I completely agree with them. They do not fully comprehend what's set to take place or how completely unable to counter it or survive they are. Because they're getting Timu missiles, baby. Get those Timu air defense. Get the Timu missiles. They can't even break our defenses. China stuff sucks. We've learned that in Venezuela. We've learned that in Iran. China's weapons suck. Their air defense sucks. They just do not have anything close to the tech we have. And we're going to get a lot more to China in a little bit, just about how much we've been lied to about how strong they are. That's partly due to history, partly due to institutional arrogance of IRGC, partly and most importantly because China and Russia simply do not understand our full capabilities. Exactly. And then last one's the key, disconnect. How clear and complete our granular picture all the way up to the grand strategic picture is compared to how blind and fragmented the situational awareness of the Iranians is. Last part really, really scares Russia and China. I've been saying this for weeks. If you guys have been watching my show, you have heard this for weeks now. How this took out our lifetimes, right? 3 big bads. At least my lifetime. I'm 42. 3 big bads. China 1, Russia 2, Iran 3. We just demolished Iran, and we demolished with them using Russian Chinese technology. Same with Venezuela. We have just so far established how far ahead we are of these other nations. It's shocking even to them, and I love it. The vast gap in cognitive abilities, capabilities, situational awareness capabilities between the U.S. and them scares them because it's a gap they can't bridge. Beyond that, the speed we can act is something they can't match. Trump showed the world we are the USA and we kick your ass. Nobody can fight with us. We're Muhammad Ali in his prime. That's who we are. They cannot beat us. And in fact, nobody can even take us 7 rounds in a 15-round match. They can't even get us 7 rounds. We're like Clubber Lang in the first fight against Rocky in Rocky 3, where Rocky shows up thinking he's all bad and Clubber Lang beats him in 2 rounds. That's who we are. Although we like to be Rocky. But the problem is Rocky lost. We don't lose. Not when we're at full strength. The war is going to restart after ceasefire ends. All hell is going to break loose. Now, I agree with almost everything he said here. Some of it is to be seen. Tom Luongo adds this excellent analysis. Now consider both Russia and China know the IRGC is dead and have propped them up to make them think they have a chance before they're wiped out, because that puts to bed the threat forever and guts the possibility of any restarting of hostilities, thus neutering European London interests created this intolerable situation in the first place. neutering European British aggression and strategic Chinese and Russian goal. And he's right. He's absolutely right. We have China and Russia, not necessarily, they're not our friends, okay? And nobody's saying that. However, we all have a similar enemy that we all hate. And it's the EU, globalist, City of London, cabal, WEF, Davos. We hate them, all of us. They have been infecting all of us. Russia especially has been brutalized because of them. Since the Soviet Union fell, they've been taking advantage of them, forcing Russia not to be able to bounce back. It's and not in the Soviet Union way, and actually just as a regular country being on the world stage way. And this goes back centuries between UK and Russia. For us, we were ahead of all of them, and they've been robbing us blind and using our own politicians to keep taking advantage of that, selling us out. China's just been put in this box, and China's been, China's awful. Don't get me wrong. They steal, they cheat, they lie, they do everything to their own advantage. But ultimately, China, I really believe, everybody believes China's after world domination. I honestly have never seen any evidence of that. And I used to believe it. Steve Bannon sure believes it. But I got to say that if China was bent on world domination, it's funny they've never Nepal, I guess. But they haven't really been expanding their empire. It's not like the Soviet Union, okay? It's not like when Russia was taking over all these countries around them and encroaching into Europe. China hasn't challenged Japan. They haven't challenged Korea. We haven't seen that in recent decades. China, I believe, just wants to be a massive brute force on their own economically, and they want to be seen as the number one power. But they can never fight us. They've known that, despite the fact we didn't know it. We were lied to by our own intelligence agencies, by our own education system, about how much further behind us China really was. And if China can get the globalists out of the way and just be left alone, and they can still do their business, and we'll always have to monitor them because they do cheat, steal. They'll do whatever it takes to make themselves profit. Absolutely. They're not good people. But they're not as bad as the globalists, I'll say that, or as the EU types. And that's what we're learning in all this. We're learning in all this that China's just not who we thought it was, that especially on a strength level. Russia's definitely not who we thought they were, but we've been figuring out Russia now for a much longer point. So, all right, let's keep moving. So 60 Minutes is even now admitting that Iran had enough highly enriched uranium to make 10 nuclear bombs. How crazy is that? Even 60 Minutes is now at that point. This was supposed to be, Trump lied. Israel lied. No, they lied to us. And now even 60 Minutes has to admit it because of, let's just watch
the
a little
war
clip.
with Iran hinges on 3 letters, HEU, and it's believed Iran has enough of it underground to eventually make 10 nuclear bombs. What would it take for the U.S. to secure that highly enriched uranium? You'll hear about a covert mission that took place 32 years ago and why a similar operation in Iran would be so difficult.
Would an operation like this be worth risking American lives?
In my opinion, yes.
The war with Iran hinges on 3 letters, HEU, and it's
repeating. Anyways, it's starting to get out there. I mean, when 60 Minutes have to admit it, 60 Minutes is a total, CBS owns 60 Minutes now, and they're trying to do a little bit better under what's-her-face. They're trying to do some real reporting. That's probably the only reason we even see this, that they could have had 10 nuclear bombs. Again, it goes back to last summer, a year ago, when Trump bombed them. Trump took out Fordow. He set them back. I have a feeling that because of the nature of the strike, they were probably pretty imminently going to be on that nuclear stage where it was dangerous. And then they'd announce, hey, we had nukes. And once they do that, you can't fight them anymore. You can't attack them. Just like with North Korea. You can't go after them once they have the nukes. It's deterrence. And then it gets a lot messier because these people are crazy. So Trump set them back, finish it, told Israel to chill, which is, again, just the proof of Trump being controlled by Israel is so non-existent now. It's just become more non-existent by the day, especially with the Lebanon-Israel ceasefire. But set it back, and then I believe was preparing for this all along. That's what makes sense to me. Because look at the timeline building up to it. They stopped, okay, or they were set back. We entered into negotiations again with them a few months ago. And in the meantime, what does Trump do? He strategically goes into Venezuela, screws all that up, gets oil from them, sets them free from Maduro, gets Maduro over here. So there's a lot of things that can go on with that. CIA, the election stuff going on. I mean, the machines in Venezuela. There's a whole lot going on there that'll be coming out weeks, months, who knows when. But regardless, we're getting Venezuela oil out in the market now. That helped protect us from this. And then immediately after Venezuela, he goes, sets up in Iran. So this was clearly part of the plan for a long time. This is well planned the whole time. This wasn't just like a lot of people are like, Trump's gut just decided to just go to war with Iran. Yeah, there's literally no facts that back that up at all. But people have TDS, man. People are Trump retarded. And because they're retarded about Trump, they can't see clearly. They have to only feed their own narrative all the time. That's all they see. They're not willing to actually go looking for the truth. I deal with this all the time. I deal with this with people who like all they care about is the markets. So they hate Trump because he hasn't fixed the markets to their liking yet. And I get it. That sucks. It really does. But when you realize how vast this is and how deeply embedded all this is and how much in bed we were with the globalists, and when you go back to like trace it all back to City of London, the financial center of the world, I mean, you figure it all out pretty quickly. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The Khomeinis having $60 billion real estate empire in UK. I mean, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And many people don't want to look at that because they're just not getting what they want. And they still are so myopic, and they're just like, oh, Jamie Dimon controls the world, bro. No, he doesn't. That's so stupid. It's like, yeah, he has a lot of power. Chase Manhattan, Chase Morgan has a ton of power. Absolutely. And our banks were in bed with previous administrations, especially the Obama administration, who basically gave them free reign over our entire financial system. The regulations they put in place with Dodd-Frank gave them all the power to completely manipulate our banks. Then they started quantitative easing, create a fake economy. I mean, 2008, go look at that. Timothy Geithner. And Trump's been slowly unwinding all that, breaking it up. And at the same time, trying to keep our economy up so Main Street doesn't go broke in the midst of it, because these guys control all of our pensions. They control the 401ks. They control it all. So if he makes a wrong move, or if he doesn't do this right and do it the slow way, everybody loses their wealth, not just the bad guys. And so that's all because of thanks to well, it goes back to Clinton. Started with Clinton, then Bush a little bit, then Obama really doubled down on that, and then of course Biden. I mean, Trump's been the only one trying to break this up, and meanwhile he's fighting everybody at the same time. The banks, City of London, his people in his own administration, especially in the first term, the DOJ, the deep state, the bureaucracies, the judges, his own Senate. It's been everybody. But Iran made it clear more than anything else that this is breaking all of that. This is the thing that's finally starting to happen. This is the thing that's finally starting to make it work. Trump today, he announces, well, let's put up the full post. We're about to jump in big time. Iran decided to fire bullets yesterday in Strait of Hormuz. Total violation of our ceasefire. Many of them were aimed at a French ship freighter from the UK. That wasn't nice, was it? My reps are going to Islamabad. They will be there tomorrow evening for negotiations. They announced they were closing the strait, which is strange because our blockade already closed it. Fact check true. They're helping us without knowing. They're the ones that lost with the closed damage, $500 million a day. U.S. loses nothing. In fact, many ships are headed right now to the U.S., Texas, Louisiana, Alaska to load up. Again, one of the most genius plays in the history of our country is how Trump just made us the number one place in the world for energy, and everybody now relies on us, which means nobody has leverage on us anymore at all financially. They just don't. All the debt, all those countries that hold our debt, they need us now for energy. So yeah, they can say, "Oh, we're not going to buy your bonds anymore. We're going to hold your debt over you." And we say, "Cool, you guys will kill your economy. You're dead. No exports to you. No natural gas. No oil. You're dead. Good luck." Because it's going to take you 10 years to rebuild what you let the climate crap destroy for you, because you're retarded, and we're not. Like, this is the single greatest miracle, like, for our economy and our future that any president's done in decades, if not over a century. What Trump's done with our energy here, because it just makes us the power broker of the world from now on. It's unbelievably genius, and honestly, like, you'd have to be absolutely retarded to not see it, to hate that. You got to just hate America and not understand geopolitics at all to not think this is like one of the best things that's ever happened to our country. It just is. And it's not just now, it's for the future. It's going to get better and better and better. You know what happens when you're the most prosperous energy exporting nation in the world? That prosperity will find its way down to the people. It's just a matter of time. But the infrastructure has to be put in place. It takes time because we've been being bled out for decades. And it goes back before free trade of Clinton. It goes back before that. We started before that. Clinton just accelerated it. We've been killing our manufacturing, killing our infrastructure, killing our middle class. And Trump's the only one turn that around. So, I mean, again, I don't care what people can complain about him all they want. Oh, Trump made money off money, or who's made way more money than him. Look at every other president who doubled, tripled, 10 times their worth by getting into the presidency, and did so illegally. If Trump makes some money off this, none of it, he's done it all legally. And he's done it. He lost half his worth in the first presidency. He went down from $4 billion to $2 billion in his first presidency. So listen, after the much this guy's been through, I don't care if he leaves the presidency and he's worth $100 billion. I don't care, because I can see everything else that's been going on. Let it happen. Who cares? As long as it's done by deals that help America, and that's all I'm seeing. You know, it'd be kind of stupid not to have stuff going on that makes money, right? It's not like he's one of these congressmen. Okay, it's not like Trump's doing fake book deals, you know. And I believe everybody here doesn't care. I really do. He says, let's see. To load up, compliments of the IRGC, always going to be the tough guy. We're offering a very fair and reasonable deal. I hope they take it, because if they don't, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant, every single bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy. They'll come down fast. They'll come down easy. If they don't take the deal, it'll be my honor to us to be done what should have been done by Iran, other presidents the last 4 years. So, guys, it's about to ramp up. It's about to ramp up. Okay. All right. And just for a history of what we've done, this is just a good perspective to understand what has happened when countries have challenged us in the past. Okay. And this is something we haven't been told in a long time, and we're starting to remember it now as we see Trump wielding our power again. But we were all taught growing up, you know, or at least maybe some of you are old enough that you didn't get this, but most of us, when we were in school and stuff, or growing up, the media, we were all being told, like, listen, China's about to catch up to us. The U.S. really isn't that great anymore. We're not that far ahead. The rest of the world's catching up. Oh, you should, you know, it's not okay to be so, like, you can love our country, but we have a lot of flaws. We're just as great as everybody else thinks, or, you know, as we've been taught. Well, it's the opposite. We're much stronger. It says the United States has a habit watching its rivals shrink. Soviet Union collapsed. Japan, supposed to own America in the 80s, is now a far smaller economy. China looks set to follow. In 21, China's GDP reached 78% of American GDP. Look at that. Just 5 years ago, they were 76% of our GDP. Consensus it would pass the U.S. before 2030. I heard this so many times. Consensus has collapsed. By 24, U.S. economy was $29 trillion against China's 18.9, we'll say 19, a gap that widened for 3 straight years. Working age population shrinking, fertility rates fallen to roughly 1.0. There's no immigration to compensate. America benefits from believing it's a formidable rival. I don't agree with that. But regardless, whether you agree with it or not, China has peaked. China peaked. They peaked right after COVID. And of course they did. They did so much crazy stuff to peak after COVID. Okay. They held us hostage with PPE. We did it to ourselves. We allowed it to happen. But that was China's peak. And now they're fading again while we grow. And so China's just never going to catch us, guys, ever. It was just a lie. It was just a psyop to make us all believe that we were going to have this great big enemy that was going to take us on. And it's just not happening. Another great post. The dream of China surpassing U.S. as the world's largest economy was fading. 24, it's 64% now of our GDP just 2 years ago, and we've been growing faster. And here's a great graph for it. Look at America. Whoop. And this is going to only grow stronger now that Trump's laid a new foundation. And then there's China. Absolutely pathetic. It's over. So I'm glad we can put this lie to bed. Sorry, Steve Bannon. You're so wrong about China. It's crazy. But why does Steve Bannon hate China so much? Why does he always want us focused on China? Because Steve Bannon is Chatham House, which is a wing of UK City of London intelligence. Steve Bannon never wants us to look at City of London that way. He's deflecting. Keep us focused on China so we don't see who our real big bad enemy is. Trump announcing again, we might stop by Cuba after we finish with this. You know why? Because Cuba's about done. Cuba's about done. And we're just going to go finish the job. So we're really close to that. That's going to be another, just check off another box of things that our entire lives we thought maybe we wouldn't ever see. This is amazing. Imagine living in a world where Iran is fully dealt with and is no longer a threat, no longer able to fund terrorism, no longer able to disrupt the Middle East, destabilize the Middle East. Imagine that. Number 3, big bad off the table forever. Now, next thing, imagine we're allies with Russia in a few years, which is going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I think once Russia-Ukraine's over, we're going to have trade deals with Russia like lickety-split. It's going to happen fast, okay? So we become close with Russia. And now Cuba is a tourist destination because it's either an American territory or a proxy. Like, imagine this world we're going to live in. And Europe, we can still visit Europe. We can still hang out there. But Europe is falling apart, disgraced, and nobody thinks of it as this place that's better than America anymore. That's all gone because they're pathetic and they're in catch-up mode, and because we're no longer providing their military. They have to actually fund a military, and they actually have to build an industrial base again, which is going to take them a long time. Imagine that world. Because I'm telling you, that world could be here in 2 to 5 years. These things are moving fast. These things are moving very, very quickly. And finally, Trump posted this weekend, talking about, with all this going on in geopolitics and arrests, which we're going to be talking about in a minute. But Trump posted Frank Sinatra's My Way this weekend. Let's play the first not a minute, because I'll get... YouTube won't like that, so I'll just play the first few seconds.
The end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
Why would Trump post this? I see 2 arguments. One is he's posting, it's my way, I do it my way. That's fine. But the whole point about this song, which I love this song, by the way, a wonderful song. Frankie's the best. I used to literally go to sleep listening to Frank Sinatra in college just because I thought his class would wear off on me and it make me get more dates. Don't know about that part, but I'm very happily married. And I've got a great wife, so maybe it did work. 17 years, baby. So, but anyways, very interesting. He posted this. And Brian Cates, who has been a long time Trump guy, Q follower. I know some of you don't like the Q stuff, and that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to. But I will tell you, you cannot ignore some of the coincidences that keep happening with the Q posts. And here's another one. Dan posted this 492 days ago. Frank Sinatra singing My Way. And now the end is near. Dan reposted this today. Trump reposted it also. What does Q drop 492 say? We will never lose again once this is finished. Pretty crazy. Just gotta say, you guys can make do with that what you want, but I can't ignore the coincidence. I just can't. I think Trump has got us all positioned in place for some incredible stuff about to happen. And what have I been telling you guys? I've been saying this for 5 weeks now. I believe once Iran is dealt with, it is the last major stronghold of City of London. The tentacle that this one snaps off, it weakens them so much. We go full offense on this point forward. And what did Trump say a couple weeks ago? He said, once Iran's done, we're dealing with at home. And I think we're about there. And it's going to get really, really fast and interesting going ahead from now. The end is near. I truly hope so. And Trump definitely did it his way. Okay. All right, guys. Let's take a break real quick. I'm going to do my next segment is on Kash announcing the arrests and all the craziness going on in D.C. right now, all the exposure. It is ramping up like crazy. And then after that, we're going to go get into Candace Owens, just Laura Loomer ending the career of Candace Owens, which has just been one of my favorite things I've seen in the last few months. It's a wonderful, amazing thing that happened this weekend. So I'll get into Loomer here in a second as well. But first, I want to get into the chat. Make sure I'm catching all you guys. If you tagged me, if you super chatted me, I want to get into this. So first, let me check if there's any super chats. 2. Okay, so I got Big Who 69 and $5 super chat says, "Go Trump, go Niners, go USA." Amen, brother. And thank you so much for the $5 donation. I greatly appreciate it. And then we have Mandy with a $5 donation as well and says, "So Candace Owens has a Zionist lawyer firm, all Jewish. Remember, said the Jews killed Charlie Kirk, defending her against McCarthy." You nailed it, and you got a little bit ahead of where I'm going, but that's okay because it's a lot more, so you really didn't spoil the segment. It is going to get fun. Okay, let me see if I was tagged on anything. The tags aren't highlighting as well as they used to, so please forgive me if I miss it, guys. Or you could hit me up now, and then maybe I won't. Maybe I'll see it. Excuse me. Seth says he thinks the Commonwealth could become U.S. property. I don't think so. That's very interesting. I think Trump's much more interested in securing the Western Hemisphere, which does include Canada, which is Commonwealth. So maybe there's something there. But I don't think Trump's interested in gaining New Zealand, Australia, any of that. I really don't. I'm hesitant to say I agree with you there. I think what Trump really wants is just us all to go back to being sovereign nations who take care of ourselves and we trade with each other on a fair basis. I think that's what Trump's really trying to do, while also making sure America's just the strongest of all. So I think that's what we're looking at, man. But it's an interesting theory. I'd love to know more of why you might think that, because maybe you know some I don't. Okay, let's see what else. Did we have a lot of trolls tonight? I see some blocked people. Candace versus Loomer in a roller derby. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we do not need the UK. That is absolutely true. Funny guy says, benevacantism. I don't know what that is, but you tagged me, so I read it. I'm like, I'm like Ron Burgundy. Who put that on the teleprompter? Who put it? I just read it. Let's see here. Yeah, a few brain dead, says Kev. It's okay. I always get brain dead. I love the brain deads on my chat because it means I'm getting somewhere. And I get people so angry at me, man. I tell you what, like, I don't understand it. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, right? I do call it like it is, and I'm very opinionated. I'm not going to apologize for that. But yeah, I'm not like mean. And I'm only mean like if you disrespect me, and then I'll put you, I'll send you down, but like any good man should. But man, I get people so mad at my takes. It's like, why are you watching? Why do you care? Go hate watch me. I just don't do that. I don't hate. I take that back. I hate watch on stuff like when we have major wins because I just love to see the other side crying. So I do a little bit of hate watching, but I don't want to just listen to other people talking about stuff I hate. Like, that's crazy. Why would I do that? But some people, I guess, just don't have lives. I don't understand it. Nick Majors with the $10 donation says, love the way you put things together and the energy. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. Frees us from the crown, allows them to develop their resources, become self-sufficient. Well, I agree with all that. I just don't think we need to take over the Commonwealth, but I think we could break the Commonwealth free. That would make sense. Anyways, all right. Well, they're so delicious, aren't they, ED? Jesus Saves says, Ace pissing people off means I'm telling the truth. Truth hurts. Yes, it does. Some are paid agitators. Well, that's the best. If I get the paid agitators, then I am really doing well, because that means somebody sees me as a threat and they're going to pay to take me out, make me look bad. So that's a good sign, Maybe I have the Temu internet. Did I go out again? I don't think so. I got good internet, man. What are you talking about? Anyways, all right, let's get on to the next segment. Before I do, guys, please like and subscribe. And if you're enjoying the chat, if you enjoy what we're talking about, if you want to learn more and just be kept up to date more, but also be involved in an awesome group of people, join the Discord, join the Patreon. You'll really like it in there. If you like talking about this stuff, getting up to date, notifications on news. People are always talking in there. People are becoming friends. It's a great community. It's fun, funny too. But really cool stuff being shared all the time in the Patreon and in the Discord. So you want to join, you want to go into the description right now, click the link, get your free month, claim that month. And in that month, you can do whatever you want to do, get used to it. Well, not whatever, you could get banned if you're a jerk. But what I mean is check everything out, all the extra content, the Discord, see if you like it. And then if you like it, you can stay. If not, you got a free month to figure that out and then get out. All right. So, okay, last one. Funny guy says the theory Pope Benedict never resigns, which makes Francis and Leo not legitimate. That's an interesting theory, funny guy. I'll have to look into that one. Kev says, I started your Understanding the Bible series, Ace. Love it so far. Thank you for doing. Oh, I love it. Thank you, man. That was a passion project of mine. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, we got to move on, though, before it gets too late, because there's still lots to get to. Okay, this weekend also with the okay, let me start that over, shall I? This weekend, Trump dropped the incredible Frank Sinatra post with the, and now the end is near. Got a lot of people speculating. Also, in this major group of postings he put up, he did this about justice coming.
Jackals, hyenas, they're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.
I don't know about you guys. That gives me chills. That gives me chills. So soon after Trump does this, Kash goes on Fox and has this to say.
I lived through it, and the media came at me then, too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media is going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. Right. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests. And it's coming, and I promise you, it's coming soon.
Well, Kash, hold on, because when you started this interview, you said, Maria, you and I have been working together for a long time, and this is exactly what you were referring to. You were on my show repeatedly talking about the Russia collusion story, and our audience wants to know why there's never any accountability. But specifically, the question that I asked you was about election integrity and whether or not you have any information to verify what President Trump says all the time, which is the election was rigged.
Woo! Who's getting excited? Arrests are coming. I promise you, it's coming soon. We're working with Department of Justice Attorney Todd Blanche. You see, they're not even saying acting Attorney General now. They're just calling him Attorney General. There's a reason for that. Messaging is everything. Listen, it took a year. It took a year for them to gather the evidence and to purge the FBI, purge the DOJ, purge the CIA, get them clean, get their people in place. The timing of Bondi leaving, not coincidental at all. She did the job. She messed up on Epstein. I don't think she absolutely messed up on how the Epstein files were handled behind the scenes. But she messed up in public a couple times. But that's not, Trump wasn't going to fire over that. Bondi, she did her job. Interestingly, as soon as Todd Blanche announced that the DOJ is ready to go full scale, it's at full strength, Bondi moves on a couple weeks later. Kash Patel, PSYOP, Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard going to be leaving. And yes, Laura Loomer, who did such a great job with Candace Owens this weekend, did report Tulsi would leave, and she was absolutely wrong. But, hey, nobody's perfect. But they were also going after Kash. Alex Jones, Kash Patel. Kyle Seraphin has declared today that Kash Patel will be leaving tonight. That was April 2nd. 17 days ago. Missed it by that much. Sorry, Alex. You fool. Why do you think there's been such a hardcore push against Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi? They're all justice. They're all in the gathering the intelligence to take out these deep state actors, mostly Democrats, here domestically. Isn't it interesting? You don't hear anybody else being gone after in this major way, right? They don't go after the Secretary of Treasury, Bessent. They don't go after agriculture or transportation. All those other guys they leave alone. But it's always Kash Patel, about to be gone. Tulsi Gabbard, about to be gone. Bondi being a failure. Hegseth, military. Oh, that one scares them. Hegseth, they're always trying to get those guys fired. Why? And I have so many people fall for it. I held on strong the whole time. I trust Bondi. I trust Patel. Some people still argue with me with Bondi. That's fine. At this point, we're never going to know. Okay, so whatever. We'll call it a draw. But I was absolutely right about Kash Patel. There's a reason he's still there. I was right about Tulsi. So, listen, it's all in place now. It took 15 months, okay? People thought Trump was going to come out, inaugurate January 20th, January 21st, arrest all of America. Do you know how stupid that is? Do you know how stupid it was? They thought he was going to be able to do everything all at once. Do you know how long it takes to get everything into place when you're doing this? Trump is uncoupling. He's unwinding this fraud, this abuse, this deep state taking over of our institutions, of our undermining our Constitution that's been going on for 100 years or more and really ramped up the last 4 or 5 decades. And oh, it was supposed to be done on Friday, bro. Why did it take a year? Trump's not doing anything. Makes me so mad. But again, Trump's got 2 years, 9 months left, and I feel I'm not going to guarantee anything because nothing's guaranteed in this life. But I'll give you 9-1 odds. Like, I believe 95% Trump's going to knock out all of this by the time his terms are done. And it's really going to start ramping up. Here's another sign of it. Joe DiGenova. I can't pronounce some of these names. The ex-U.S. attorney for D.C. has been screaming brazen plot to frame Trump on Fox since 2017. Guy who nearly joined Trump's Mueller defense before conflicts yanked him gets sworn in Monday as counsel to the attorney general. Ruh-roh. Setting up in Fort Pierce, Florida. I'm telling you, they're getting everything to Florida so they can get this stuff done. At Judge Eileen Cannon's courthouse, we know that she loves Trump. She's true blue. Grand jury impaneled and ready since January. Joe's been exposing Crossfire Hurricane, Clinton-funded Steele dossier, FISA abuses, Strzok page text, and 17 intel agents fabrication for years. Real accountability starts in Florida. And this is his prediction, which whatever. But what matters is this is actually happening. This is actually happening. It's coming, guys. They're ramping up right now. And I think it's fascinating that as they're ramping all the major scandals being uncovered in D.C. Started with Swalwell, but he's just the beginning. George Santos, who they tried to take out, they put him in prison 7 years for a crime that usually gets 3 to 6 months. Trump pardoned him, and they weren't counting on it. They weren't counting on Trump winning. Trump pardoned Santos, and now he's naming names. This is D.C. in a nutshell. While I was involved in politics, Congress, there's some of the whispers that ran rampant in D.C. Max Miller of Ohio remains accused by more than one woman of hitting them. Nancy Mace. Oh, a lot of people like Nancy Mace. She's trying to get the Epstein files done, guys. She's running for governor of South Carolina. Rumored to have an affair with her female chief of staff. Her own staff made those allegations. Usually that's probably because it's true. Former Rep Anthony D'Esposito hired his mistress onto the payroll, violating ethics rules. Former Rep Brandon Williams verbally assaulted and threatened his staff on video. Let's just get to the current reps. Ruben Gallego cheated on his pregnant wife, divorced her while having several rumored allegations of him having inappropriate relationships with staffers, lobbyists, and reporters. Katie Hill affair formed a trouble. We remember Katie Hill. She's long gone. Rep Thomas Suozzi, rumored to have had an affair with a lobbyist. Then we got Swalwell. We got Richie Torres, rumors alleging he's always hitting on male staff on the Hill. Torres, that guy likes to make the media rounds. He's always on two-way with Mark Halperin. Interesting. Brad Sherman, rumors and allegations, sexual behavior. Jimmy Gomez, allegations cheating on his wife with staffers. Golden, rumors about his aggressiveness towards women in the press corps. Anthony Weiner, we all know about Weiner. John Rose married a woman recipient of his education scholarship, a woman 22 years younger her than him that he met when she was a minor. List goes on and on. Pattern remains the same. We have a sex problem in D.C. All this out there. Ethic committee focused on one man, Matt Gaetz, even though he beat every allegation against him. Not a single charge brought. D.C.'s not a swamp. It's a cesspool. 100%. What do they do? Even Nancy Pelosi said it years ago. I don't have the clip ready, but she admitted that what they do is they say you're doing what I'm actually doing. They deflect. And that's how they tried to take out Gates. Ro Khanna. Remember, we had Martin Shkreli last week saying he's about to go ham on Ro Khanna with some stuff. Kevin Bass now says, who wants to read the dirt on Ro Khanna? Stuff nobody's published. Fuel for FEC, SEC, DOJ complaints, receipts and screenshots attached for every claim. Who wants to read about what an unethical hypocrite Khanna is this evening? Coming right up. Now, he hasn't dropped it yet. I'm waiting. But even George Santos is like, I never heard of anything on him. And he's got the wide eyes. Can't wait to see what comes out, because Khanna is somebody who's been being groomed to be a presidential candidate someday. Yeah. Cannot wait to see how that happens. We have disgraced Democrat Sheila Phyllis McCormick, who stole $5 million, on track to be expelled in a few days. This will be the second Democrat gone from the House in a week because of Swalwell, now her. That's excellent news. Draining that swamp a little bit, guys. And finally, Zero Hedge now reporting that Ruben Gallego's political career might be toast. Gallego, star Democrat ascendant out of Arizona, moderate, which none of them are moderates anymore. But basically, if they don't believe like in actually walking up into the surgery room and cutting off, kids' genitals themselves, now they're a moderate. That's what makes you a moderate in today's Democratic Party. That's how insane these people are. Well, he beat Carrie Lake, beat her. It was stolen. That was a clear. The Arizona election was clearly stolen for the Senate. It was so close, and they had to pull him over the line. But this guy is scum. Always been scum. The fact that Arizona even let it be close with what he did to his wife, his ex-wife, is disgusting about the voters in Arizona. I gotta say, shame on you guys. Shame. But thankfully, this total scumbag is being exposed because of Swalwell, and he might have to step down as well. And our hope is, because Hobbs is governor of Arizona right now and could install another Democrat senator, our hope is that Hobbs goes down on some corruption charges soon as well. I believe this is also the year Arizona could get a new governor in. So we'll have to see if it's timed correctly. Gallego, if they slow walk this, it's possible Gallego gets pushed out just in time for a new Republican governor to come in and get rid of another Democrat in the Senate. One way or the other, though, I don't think it's coincidence. All this is coming out right as Kash announced arrests are coming, and Trump trolls them with the prowling lion. Walk it back just a couple weeks. Trump says, once Iran's done, we're focusing on domestic. He says the Democrats have got to go. They are the number one enemy to America. I remember reading the tweet. It was pretty intense. And it was a signal. It was a signal things are about to start here. Todd Blanche announces, the DOJ is fully staffed and ready to go now. Finally, after over a year, after the purging, they've got it up and running full scale. Bondi then let go, step down, resign, whatever way you want to put it. We don't know all the details yet, and I don't think we're going to know until she rises back up. But the way she was loved on, the way she went out by all the people in the Trump the Trump administration period, tells me that it wasn't a firing. Blanche now in temporarily, but he didn't have to be confirmed. So Trump could just move the guy he wanted in easy to start moving. Then all this stuff starts coming out of DC, and now Trump's trolling them about arrests. Tulsi dropped a bomb last week. Kash now saying arrests are coming. We have it all. Yeah. To me, guys, the timeline makes perfect sense. Iran's finishing up, and the real war at home is about to start up. So I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. And I think, guys, after all this long wait, I think we're finally at the beginning of this accountability we've been hoping for. We'll see if I'm wrong, but when it comes to timing the Trump administration, the longtime viewers of this place, because there's a lot of new people in the last month and a half, 2 months, there's one thing I get right most of the time, and that's Trump's moves. And I have a feeling this is coming together. So get excited. I think it's okay to finally get excited. All right. Let's take a quick break. Next segment, guys, I'm going to show you how Laura Loomer just decapitated Candace Owens' career. I'm so excited for this segment. This is like a dream come true, what we watched happen this weekend. So I'm very, very excited to get into Loomer versus Candace here. But before I do, guys, please take a second, if you don't mind, hit the like, hit the subscribe, tell the algorithm you're enjoying the show, and you might want to watch it again. I appreciate the support there. Again, if you want to get in the membership and check out the Discord for free, click the link in the description, and we'd love to have you there as a part of the community. Let me get into the chat, see if I'm missing anything. Let's see here. Let's see. I Love Music over on Rumble says, you don't call deep state actors Democrats. Well, I don't know. You could kind of say that all deep state actors are Democrats, or actually, rather, I'd say all Democrats are deep state actors, and a lot of Republicans still are too. That's how I'd say it. I did have another super chat come in. I wanted to recognize Legendary Perry for the $5 donation. Says, Candace Owens, Charlie was my BFF, and what was that? The drink unalived and what? Also, what? Bessie isn't their BFF's wedding. Sorry, Candace, you lose. Try again. Absolutely, Legendary. Thank you for the $5 donation. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cass Inc. says, what I think about Joe Rogan at the White House. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was going to bring it up later. That's going to be in the ending when we do a quick the shotgun hits of news. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. And I got to say, Rogan's been tough on Trump lately. He's been tough on him. He's allowed some of his guests to say some stupid stuff. But Rogan loved Trump before. And I think Rogan was put off by Iran. Listen, Joe Rogan's, he's a very clever man. He's not a super smart guy, not like putting stuff together. I think Rogan's like street smarts guy, not an intellectual guy. And he's surrounded by liberals. Most of his friends are liberals. So I don't think Rogan's a bad dude. I really don't. I don't think he's faggot. I don't think he's a grifter. I think he's really a truth seeker, but he's got so many people in his life. He just wants to make everybody happy as friends. So he doesn't go all in one way or the other, and he likes to play it skeptical. But seeing Rogan like get one of his dreams come true because of Trump, and then there with Trump at UFC again, and now at this, I think Rogan is really good with Trump, and I see that he's probably going to be a lot nicer to Trump going forward again. So, NASA's going to be exposed, maybe. It's interesting. I know so many people hate on NASA, and I'll just be honest with you. I see it both ways because I've seen the arguments both ways. But here's a couple of things I keep coming back to. Obama is the one who defunded NASA and defunded the space program. The number one Manchurian candidate, deep state candidate of all time, the guy specifically designed, groomed, and raised by John Brennan himself, CIA director, deep state provocateur, head of the deep state in our country, groomed Obama, got him to be president to destroy our nation, and Obama defunded NASA. He defunded the space program. I can't get past that. I'm sorry, if NASA's such a tool of the deep state, then why was Obama the one who defunded it and Trump's the one bringing it back? I'm sorry. I just, that evidence is so overwhelming to me that I got to believe NASA's got something else going on, and it's not bad. I'm sorry. That's where I stand on that. when the most evil leader we've ever had is the one who got rid of it. So I'm just saying, I don't ever hear anybody who has a good argument for that. And until I do, I'm just going to be like, you know what? NASA's just a tool and whoever uses it. But there's a reason Obama didn't want us to have it. So just think about that. Excuse me. Anyways, we're not going to do flat earth stuff here. I don't believe in flat earth. I think it's a ridiculous argument. And I don't see why the Greeks had a reason to say the earth was round and, fraud us all. I just don't think that makes sense. D6 says, is Obama the prize or the person funding Obama the prize? That's a domino I want to see fall. Let me put it this way, D6. Obama's not the prize. He's a prize. And he might not be a prize we ever get the way we want. Because Trump, as much as he wants to make MAGA happy, even more so he wants to make America prosperous in the future. And Trump doesn't like how split America is. He wants the nation to heal. And if you're going to have healing in the nation, it's going to be really difficult if you do a perp walk with Obama. It just is. But if you put him on house arrest for the rest of his life in a deal that might not be as satisfying for MAGA, but it might be better for the country that way. So I'm just saying with the whole Obama thing, just don't get your hopes up for a perp walk. I think Trump's looking beyond that, but it'll still be punishment, or maybe Obama will die mysteriously in his sleep or something. But I don't think we're going to get a perp walk. But John Brennan, they're going right after John Brennan publicly. So we'll see what happens that. Let's see. Challenged me to interview Dave. Who? Dave? Dave Smith? Dave Smith's a retard. I could destroy Dave Smith. He has like 5 answers all the time, and he just repeats them, and nobody ever challenges him on them. It's like they're so easy to debunk. But anyways, we won't get into that. Flat Earth Dave? Oh, I don't know who Flat Earth Dave is. But I will tell you, I've researched Flat Earth, and nobody's ever been able to tell me how right now it's, well, let me put it this way. Nobody's ever been able to explain to me on Flat Earth how if it's summer in where I'm at, how it's winter in Australia, because that doesn't make sense if it's a flat Earth. Just saying, it doesn't. Nobody's ever been able to explain that to me. How how above the equator and below the equator is different. It just doesn't make sense if it's a flat Earth. And there's literally no, because no matter how, like, we know the mileage, and there's nothing on a flat Earth that the sun could be moving differently that could actually make a season last like that. It just doesn't make sense. So, oh yeah, I'm sure there's weird stuff in Antarctica. I'm not saying that, but that doesn't make the flat Earth, real. I'm sorry. Okay, I told you guys we're not going to do flat Earth here. Jeremy James with a $10 donation says, high tables run by the same sons of God from Deuteronomy 32, 8-9, given authority over the nations, over Babel rebellion, whose powers was stripped at the birth of Christ. Jeremy James, great comment. I mostly agree with that. I'm not saying it's like bloodlines, because it might not be, but it's definitely the same spirit. And as it says in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. Well, that was written by Solomon after he turned away from God, when his wives had gotten him into pagan worship. So Ecclesiastes is all about just human wisdom. And he's absolutely right about that. That's what and what he's doing is Ecclesiastes, a lot of black pilling. It's human wisdom without God. That's why Ecclesiastes gets so sad and hopeless at times. Anyways, he says there's nothing new under the sun, which in regards to evil, it's absolutely true. And, but Jesus says, I'm making all things new. So God does make new things. And new things that come to the earth are from God. But, yes, when you say like the deep state is the same deep state as the Bible, I mostly agree with that because they do still worship Moloch, crazy stuff like that, the child sacrifice, stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I agree, but I mean, you know, again, I'm not necessarily agreeing it's bloodlines because a lot of those bloodlines were wiped out, but I can believe that I absolutely 100% agree it's the same spirit. So I will say that same spirit they're all worshiping and sticking with. Okay. Oh, right. Let's see. Guys, we're not getting into flat earth. Just leave it alone. You guys can all believe what you want. I don't care. I don't care. Because to me, it doesn't matter either way. Flat earth or round, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change much for me at all. I'm focused on what people are doing. And whether or not the earth is round or flat right now doesn't change that at all. I tell you what, once Trump completely defeats the deep state and things are thriving so much and things are so prosperous around here and peace is abounding and we're in a golden age and things are awesome, then I'll have time because I'll need content. We'll talk about flat earth. But right now, doesn't matter to me at all. So we're just not going to waste our time on it. Anyways, please please subscribe. Let's get, Child of the King says, amen, subbing to you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Really do. All right. You guys ready? We are getting on to Candace versus Loomer. I'm not going to lie. This is the segment I'm most excited about tonight just because it's pure fun. It's just pure fun. Oh, all right. Laura Loomer destroyed Candace Owens this weekend, and I am so here for it. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the knockout blow to Candace. It's been so obvious. She's been grifting like crazy the last few months. I mean, if you go back, you can find it throughout her whole career. But the Charlie Kirk stuff just took it to another level. She took it to 11. She's gone crazy. Her stuff is insane. She backtracks all the time. She's talking out both sides of her mouth half the time. Almost everything she says is easily debunked. It's just crazy that she's getting millions and millions of viewers while destroying Charlie Kirk's legacy at the same time. It's been pathetic. I was one of the first to do content on it. And of course, you know, barely anybody watched it, but that's okay. Most of you guys weren't here yet. But I've been calling her out from the beginning, and now I feel I am more vindicated than ever. And Laura Loomer, who I'm 50-50 on. Sometimes she's amazing. Sometimes she drives me crazy. But this is her masterpiece. This is her magnum opus. She just wrote Laura Loomer's Fifth Symphony because she has so thoroughly taken Candace Owens down this weekend. I don't know how Candace recovers. I just don't. Candace will always have an audience because she's got money behind her and she's got a bunch of loyal people who love her personality and so they'll believe anything she says. But all the free thinkers are about to abandon Candace in droves. Look at this. So Laura Loomer starts it off. Did you know real Candace Owens is allegedly a dual citizen? Lots of hypocrisy from a woman who goes around calling people foreign agents. Here's a document from her lawsuit with the Macrones. Candace has denied having dual citizenship, but the lawsuit claims otherwise. Just last week, she said her media company wasn't foreign. Well, if she has dual citizenship, it is. And you can see right here in the court documents, thank you, Discovery, because the Macrones are suing her. It's the only time I'll ever like something the Macrones do. In Discovery, it turns out Candace has British citizenship. Oh, wait. Are you telling me that Candace is close to City of London? That she married into the House of Lords, and her father-in-law is connected to MI6, and now she has British citizenship? Oh, wait, what? Really? I seen. Wow. Who's surprised about this one? Not me, because I've been seeing this for months. But whatever. This is what happens when you don't have a media establishment behind you pumping your numbers, right? That's okay, though. I like being honest. I'll grow organically the right way, telling the truth. Laura Loomer again. So Candace fires back, calling Laura Larry. Like that's some great, amazing, clever thing. That's what you do when you're scrambling and You just don't have much to say. Larry, I observed your strategy during DeSantis game. Use historically fictionize Casey as faking cancer. Doesn't ruffle me. Blah, blah, blah. Find a nice woman, sell down for our kids, you'll be happier. She doesn't address anything, right? Laura, this is so rich coming from the woman who hysterically fictionalized everything she's ever said about Erica Kirk and Emmanuel Macron's wife. You're getting exposed. Why do you have 2 multi-million-dollar homes in a trust just 2 miles away from each other? Remember what Candace said last week? I played the clip, how she was going after Erica for being one of the big people, lording over us little people. Do you remember that from Candace? Meanwhile, Candace, who I told you guys is way richer than Erica Kirk, it's now coming out. She 2 multi-million-dollar homes just 2 miles away from each other. Huh. That's funny how that works. That's interesting. Why are you hiding $12 million in real estate while you tell your audience you need to raise $5 million for legal fees? Why do you need to raise $5 million for legal fees when your husband is worth $250 million, Candace? You grifter. My God, who still believes this woman? Who still believes Candace Owens? I'm sorry. I don't understand how anybody trusts this woman. She's crazy. She just bought another house for $7.8 million. I have the deed, the address, the layout, everything. You're a total grifter. You're crying poverty on your show. You hide your assets in the Battery Lane Trust. Refuse to deny it. Keep calling me Larry. Should I post the record? Shows your husband, George Farmer, personally paid the property taxes for the homes under the trust you're hiding your money under? You're also using Jewish lawyers. Oh my God. Cue the Troll 2 meme. Oh my God. This is awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. Candace in this clip back here, which I don't need to play it because we've all seen Candace say this stuff. I just want to be clear. If anything happens to me, blame the Zionists. Like 1,000% blame the Zionists. So just to be clear, Candace, when you lose the defamation lawsuit the First Lady of France filed against you, we get to blame your Zionist Jewish lawyer? Mark Asowitz and the other Jewish lawyers you should have working for you as well? Oh my God, these people. Candace, dude, she messed with the wrong person. Look at this. Candace Owens LLC changed its corporate officers while in the middle of active defamation litigation from Emmanuel and Bridget Macron in Delaware Superior Court. Making corporate office changes mid-lawsuit strongly appears like an attempt to shield assets, or complicate potential judgment against the entity highly frowned upon by the courts. Bad luck for Candace, as Candace Owens LLC is directly named as defendant in the lawsuit. Many would say this is potentially fraudulent. Additionally, Canada's been hiding at least $12 million of luxury real estate in a Battery Lane Trust. This is what I call getting loomered. Oh, it gets so much better too. It just gets better. The Jew hater herself. I love this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you, Laura Loomer. Like, you know, it's like we'll always have Paris. Laura, you and I will always have Candace. We'll always have this moment with Candace. No matter how many times you frustrate me, no matter how many times I catch you in something that ends up not being true, the times you are true are worth it. And this one is absolutely one of those times. We'll always have Candace, Laura. She quotes, high-level White House sources affiliated with Trump's legal team told me Mark Kasovitz at one point in time is considered as candidate to be U.S. Attorney General. Wow. Looks like Trump was smart in not doing that because he knew all the Zionist stuff was coming. Kasovitz, who is a Zionist Jew, Candace Owens hates Jews, is one of President Trump's personal lawyers, and he represents Candace Owens. What? He's a Jew, a Zionist Jew, and he not only is now representing Candace Owens, he also represents Trump, who Candace says is basically the devil, the Antichrist now? What? Tell me it's not true, Candace. Representing Candace in the defamation lawsuit. Making this even more hypocritical is the fact Kasovitz is also the legal counsel for Zionist Organization of America. Candace Owens. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I'm just wallowing in this. I just want to make this last. I've been waiting for this moment since September. That's 8 long months of having to listen to Candace's crap, being one of the first to call her out, having so many people tell me I was wrong, having so many people leave my channel because I was going after Candace, telling me I was the blind one. How could I go after Candace Owens? She's the only one who wants to know the truth. So many people. And this is the cross I bear, my burden. Guys, I'm not always right, but I'm right 96.7% of the time. Not as good as Rush, but I'm close. I was so right about Candace. I'm just reveling in this. Candace Owens has said Zionists are in a pedo cult. She has accused President Trump being controlled by Zionists. She's even suggested Trump is a pedophile who's being blackmailed by Israel and Epstein. Candace said everyone who stands with Trump and his administration is demonic. She suggested Trump's administration Charlie Kirk assassinated because Charlie opposed war with Iran. All of this is so obviously untrue. People have watched in awe as Candace Owens continued making defamatory claims on her show on a daily basis. Here's the kicker. Trump has publicly condemned Candace, said she deserves to lose the lawsuit. We know what he posted, but I'll read the first part. Crazy Candace Owens, who accuses highly respected First Lady of France being a man. The best part. Actually, to me, First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. That's still funny. It's still funny. It's obviously not true. Candace is way prettier than Brigitte, but Brigitte is well, but you know, it's funny, and I'm all for funny. Candace took to her podcast to insinuate Trump had a gay sexual relationship with Brigitte Macron. She asked on her show, "Are you gay?" to President Trump. This is so crazy, man. Can't wait to see what Trump's going to say about this when he finds out he's one of the same lawyers as crazy Candace Owens. It's so wonderful. I know a lot of high profile and powerful people, as you can imagine. I know Candace is well aware of who I know, especially when it comes to powerful Jews. Funnily enough, following the publication of my expose, many of these Jews have reached out to me, informing me that Mark Kasovitz is also representing them in their legal matters. Several of these people told me when you walk into Mark Kasovitz's law firm, there's allegedly a sign in the office that says when President Trump needs a lawyer, he knows who to call. He calls Mark Kasovitz. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm loving this so much. And let's keep going because Milo's going down too. And listen, one of the times I was wrong was I used to trust Milo. I'll be honest about it. He almost came on my show. 2 years ago, he almost came on. And then he had a scheduling conflict. There's been a lot of stuff Milo's done I liked. He has called out some people and been absolutely right about it. He's had receipts. And I love that. I love when people expose people. And so it made me trust Milo more than I should have. But Milo has turned out to be a total pathetic loser, total shill, and a grifter in his own way. But Loomer is now taking him down as well because of the connection to Candace. And this is saucy. Interesting, you're now taking the word of Milo, who my sources tell me is currently dealing with deportation proceedings because he's in the country illegally, allegedly. Is it true Milo's allegedly working for you, Candace? I would not doubt that at all. Milo went on a full-on Candace love fest last year, and that's when I was like, oh, I was wrong. One of your former friends in Nashville, Tennessee contacted my tip line, said they saw him entering and leaving your house. If Milo's a legal alien, he's working for you, could face a lot of legal consequences, Candy. First of all, Milo's never spoken. However, since you say Milo's a credible source, I guess he's being honest when he says your husband, George Farmer, is a homosexual male, takes it up the ball. Milo said your husband's getting plunged. This is absolutely true. Milo did call out her husband before he turned. Yep. It's at the bottom of this one. Let me tell you something. Candace Owens' husband's getting plunged. This is before Milo turned to Candace's side. Why? Probably because she hired him. Makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. Is that why you and George have $12 million in real estate? We've already gone through that. That's what Milo said must be true. Milo's a gay man from England, where your husband's from. You said Milo's word is trustworthy and credible, Candace, so I'll take you for your word and show everyone what we said about your husband. See the screenshots. Also, this picture. Why is your husband flirting with Milo? I've never seen your husband look that happy of any of your pics. Oh, snap. Including your wedding photo. Has your husband ever whispered in your ear while caressing your arm and breathing warm air on your neck? Have you ever been tested for AIDS? Well, that's an insinuation right there. Holy cap. Oh, man. Did George Farmer contact something from Milo? I don't know, but yikes. So, despite all this, her career, watching her career going down the drain as Laura's absolutely destroying Candace with receipts, Candace, in response, this is all she could do. Looks like I struck a nerve, Larry. You keep sharing this weird photo of husband Milo, hoping someone will believe it's real. AI photo. It's absolutely not an AI photo. How pathetic do you have to be? Sit around making AI photos trying to pass them off as real. Ha ha ha. It's not an AI photo. It's been out a long time. When Farmer was running TPUSA UK, he was running the UK wing of TPUSA for a little while. You're deeply envious of my life, my husband, children. What is not AI are the photos and video Milo has of you and your antipsychotic medicine, plus the videos of you having to make a start. That's all true, actually. Laura has some shady stuff out there too. That's like, let's be real. But Laura don't care. That's the thing. Laura's been able to weather all that and keep going. That's the difference. Candace has wanted all this to be hidden. You're not Jewish, Larry. You think you're a crazy thug. You're a manic depressive. You're a useful idiot of the Trump campaign. Everyone pities you, Laura. Now she goes back to Laura. That doesn't even make sense. Why not stick with the joke? The reality is you have both the face and the sad life you deserve. How pathetic is that response? There's no receipts. This is pretty typical Candace, by the way. Somebody who has something really to say back, okay? So Candace, pretty bad. And then Candace, it got too bad, so she had to block her. So Laura got blocked. Damn, truth hurts, Candy. Now you've blocked me instead of answering questions. I'll ask again. Have you been tested for AIDS, and did your husband brush his teeth after spending time with Milo? Probably before to keep Milo's... That I'm not going to read that last part. You guys can read it. But dang. Jeez Louise, man. That was a real life butchering. We just watched a murder. 911, I'd like to report a murder. We just saw a murder. Yeah, I was watching up in the White House. It's a murder. My God, friends. And you know what's hilarious is like this is one of the biggest stories of the weekend, especially in the conservative MAGAverse X. It's going crazy. And of course, none of the other grifters are reporting on it. Alex Jones, live show tonight. No, I'm not mentioning Candace. She's a friend. Nope. Really, Alex? Can't mention this? Why am I the only person doing a show about this tonight? Well, maybe I'm not the only one, but the only one I've seen doing anything on this. This is a massive story. A massive story. Candace Owens is now limping away, her head blown off. There's no coming back from this. There's just no coming back from this. She lied about everything. And so whew, wasn't that fun, guys? Did you guys enjoy that? That was great times. Laura followed up on this. Candace Owens keeps tweeting lies about me while I'm posting actual receipts. She blocked me too. I can't reply to her tweet. She's a coward. I can't dish it out. I just found another $6 million in Candace's secret trust. Dang. Posting receipts soon. She's so mentally disturbed she says I'm not Jewish. Last week she says Israeli agent, foreign agent who is Israel first. It's just Candace is insanely. She can't keep a straight story. She can't keep up her own lies. I don't care about actual receipts. Pick of her husband Milo isn't AI 100%. She's going to need another trust just to pay for her therapy and marriage counseling. Likely divorced by the time I'm done with her. Woo! Is it hot in here? Because Laura Loomer just lit this place up. It's on fire. My God, guys. That's one of the most fun. I love that so much. I love that too much. I could go through all those again. I won't. I don't want to, keep you guys here forever. But wow. Anybody who has seen the Candace grift going on, that was one of the best things we've had happen in a while. So, every once in a while, this gets fun. And Laura, listen, I just want to thank you for destroying the grifter once and for all, putting her to rest. And no matter what else you do, Laura, no matter how many times you get a story wrong, like saying Taylor Swift was going to steal the 2024 election or saying that Tulsi Gabbard was about to get fired to run for president, no matter how many of these stories you miss, Laura will always have Candace. We'll always have Candace. And I thank you for that. This was a fun one. And it's not the end of the grifter report either, because, Candace, even though she got destroyed, some other people are getting destroyed right now as well, including Benny Johnson. This one's not as fun, but it's interesting. This weekend, Benny Johnson got called out by Catherine Herridge. Excellent investigative reporter, Catherine Herridge. Everybody should follow her. She's not political. She just gets the stories, and got to respect her for that. Benny Johnson's been stealing her stuff. And so she called out Benny for that this weekend. Stop letting your team hijack another creator's content to monetize it on your behalf, Benny, with no credit. A lot of hard work and money goes into producing our investigation reports. 2 hours after your post being called out, your team replies, great interview, but we know the damage is done. I don't usually speak out so publicly. Can't stand by while independents like my team suffer because of accounts like yours. By the way, a quote tweet is less work. Yeah. Listen, I've never been a fan of Benny Johnson. He's kind of a weirdo. He's got a little too much of that fake energy behind him. He has done a lot of good work. I'm not going to pretend that, but he got fired from BuzzFeed for stealing stories. Wrong information from him. You just might be getting original information from him. So I would watch him carefully from now on. This is a big one because people have been really worried about Tucker Carlson's son working for JD Vance, but guess what? He is gone. He is officially gone. And Buckley, what a name, Buckley. Buckley wouldn't automatically be considered potentially compromised because of his dad, because his team on the VP's team predates his dad's foray into madness. However, after the fact, you'd be remiss in your duties not to consider him a candidate for becoming potentially compromised. Anyways, he's gone. And so good job to the Trump team. This is, to me, a big win for JD. There's a lot of people who are skeptical of JD Vance. I am not one of them. I think JD is handpicked by Trump to be the successor, not Peter Thiel. That's some Whitney Webb nonsense. Not that Peter Thiel didn't like JD or give money to his campaign, but the whole idea he's a puppet is nonsense. It's a lie spun by Whitney Webb that's been distributed over the internet and has no substance to it whatsoever. Whitney Webb, by the way, is an asset. I'm just telling you guys that right now. The black pillars always are. They always are. But JD Vance is this is a good one on him, just like speaking out against the Pope. Okay? So so I think this is a big win for JD. Absolutely. Patrick Bet-David called out Tucker this week. He's had enough of Tucker just spitting nonsense. Tucker called out PBD, and now PBD's calling him back. PBD's not my favorite, but this is a pretty good challenge right here. Says he challenges Tucker to a full financial audit with him to expose who's taking foreign money. Audit would cost $500,000, cover all businesses, LLCs, personal accounts, and even their wives' bank accounts. Report back and see if I've ever gotten paid from Israel and if you've ever gotten paid from Qatar, Pakistan, or any of those guys. He says Tucker will turn it down. You better believe Tucker is going to turn it down. Tucker is totally a foreign asset at this point. Iran proved it. When you turn that fast, that hard against the man you fought to become president, but it's been a slow burn because you also have been having a lot of guests on that you've been allowing to sow seeds of doubt. Yeah, you better believe it. And so there's no way Tucker does this, but I'd love to see it happen. Brian Cates summarizes this really well. This is why they went after Tulsi, Kash, and Pam so hard for the last year. They're still telling you Pam got fired or forced to resign. What utter BS. Neither Trump nor Pam ever said she was fired or forced out. He's talking about the grifters. So just so you guys know, her work was done. Her job was to go in there, Dan was there for the most intense stages of this as a hostile takeover to turn the FBI from organized crime to real law enforcement was underway. He left to play a role in the countering exposure of the clowns and faggot podcasting space. Exactly what I said when Bongino left, by the way. You just watched an intense year of American patriots were in a vicious battle behind the scenes for control. It's a tough road to hoe for the past year. Taking organized crime front full of government gangsters and seizing enough functional control away from them was not an easy task. It was very hard, not just of the FBI, the DOJ, very tough, got done. Couldn't show you most of it. About 80% of this done out of sight. Right now, same people scream for a year. Pam Bondi need to be fired yesterday, about to launch all-out scorcher warfare on Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, and Tulsi Gabbard. I've already started. So anyways, get ready. I believe that's Kyle Seraphin. There's Barnes. There's Ian Carroll, one of the biggest frauds of all. But, of course, Candace, Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Bannon, Posobiec, Alex Jones. Get ready, guys, because the PSYOPs are just about to pick up even more. It's, because they've all shown that they're digging in. Posobiec and Bannon are still trying to play it both ways, but we see you guys. We see you. They're more subtle, but they're doing it. So, all right, guys, I got 2 small segments still to go. So if you want to stick around, I got a really good election segment on just some excellent stuff coming from Seth Keshel about future elections, why it looks very good for Republicans / MAGA Republicans. But first, let me get in the chat. Please, if you're enjoying the show, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Always, there's a membership if you want more. So click the link. It says Israel derangement is a new climate change, a hoax designed to make Democrats win, kill any pro-American agenda. I agree with you that that is a big part of it. The difference between it and the climate change is there is shady stuff about Israel, and there is things Israel's done with our politicians that's not acceptable. However, the narrative that Israel controls the world, the narrative that Israel is the big bad, and the narrative that Trump is controlled by Israel is all retardation and absolutely untrue with no evidence to support any of it. So, yeah, I would agree with you that those things are definitely being used to take down Trump and kill our agenda, and City of London loves it. Loves it. All right, we got Andy Ross, real Andy Ross with a $20 donation. Thank you so much, Mr. Andy. He says, controlled burns so the Axis does not have the fuel to ignite World War III. Then land grabs for our true manifest destiny is from Shining Sea to the Last Sea. To the Last Sea, the Ross Sea? Sorry, man, I didn't catch what you meant on that part. As the Anglo falls into the American under our Constitution. I mean, I agree with you completely on that. We're going to get our country back, and we're going to be sovereign, and it's going to be amazing. So I totally agree with you, man. We're breaking free of the globalists, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to behold. Let's see here. Did I miss any tagged posts? I want to make sure I get them before I go on to the next part. Megan looks like an android in that pic. She looks like an android most of the time now. You can tell she's, she like Megan's a beautiful woman, but she's also in her 50s, and you can tell she's trying really hard not to look it. So she's getting a little faker and faker every year. I thought I saw some tagged posts, but you know what? It doesn't let me go back all the way. So you might have to retweet at me if I miss something you guys want. Okay. Want me to get to. Sorry about that. We definitely need to run for local offices, 100%. We have to take over local, and we have to be willing to give up, sometimes a couple years of our lives to serve. I know we all want to be left alone. We all want to just live our lives, enjoy our family, enjoy our communities, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is the other side is power hungry, and they are willing to do everything to get power, and they are willing to sacrifice their own lives. And what I mean by that is not by death as much as like long, boring lives, like in public service. They're willing to do that just to inch things forward a little bit because they are psychopathic. And they're willing to do that, though. They see the long game. And if they even get a little bit of progress, they consider it a success. Whereas our side, we just want to be left alone and live our lives. And because of that, we don't, not enough good people regular people serve and are willing to give up 2 to 5 to 10 years of their lives to serve in public service, whether it's a school board or a city council or a senator, whatever it is, we don't have enough good people willing to do it because they just want to be left alone. And that's all well and good until the other side forces you to, and they make it so you can't be left alone anymore. And that's what we got to change. We have to change that. We have to raise our kids to be willing to do stuff at least for a little while. And guess what? If we all just gave 2 to 4 to 10 years, some of us don't have to give 10. Some of us, it's only going to be 2. But if we all did something, then there would be enough of us to make sure our country's never lost again. And we all could mostly live the vast majority of our lives the way we wanted to. But it does take some sacrifice, guys. If we want the life we want, if we want the country we want, we all have to give a little bit. So, and that, I'll be honest with you guys, that's why I've done this show for 3 years and three months now, back when there was only 20 people watching. And, I still did it because I just had something to say. And it started different. I was just, I was doing something different at the time, but I finally switched to what I'm most passionate about, which is politics and current events at the beginning of 2024. So now it's been almost 2.5 years. And still, I might have had 50 people watching, but I did it because I didn't know what else I could do. I didn't have an opportunity to serve locally, but I was like, I have stuff to say and I know what's going on. I can see this stuff. It's a gift I have. It's also an obsession I have. I'll be honest. I'm a psycho when it comes to politics. But, I love my country. I love my God, and I love my family, and I'll fight for those things. And this is the only way I know how right now. So I'm doing it. And, and I thank you guys for watching and supporting. America First, the Future, $10 donation. He says, love the podcast. Found my way here from my 2 moms over at Promethean. Keep it up. You're killing it. Thank you, sir or ma'am. Don't know which. I'm sorry. I always go brother first. It's a guy in me, but anyways, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate, you giving up some of your money to support me, and, really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm doing my best here. Okay. I'll do a couple more and then we'll go on to the last couple segments here, which will be fast. Excuse me. A little burpy tonight. I don't know why. Ace 2028. I don't think so. There's no way. But if God ever called me to run for office and put me in the place to do it and made it clear, I would do it, but it would have to be very clear. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Andy Ross, $2 says, write letters to politicians, lesson from the past. Absolutely. Write letters. Call. Sometimes that's all you got to do, but just, figure out a way to do civic duty and contribute to the future. And if we all do it, we can't lose. I'll tell you what, there's way more of us than there are them, but they all are obsessed with power. And that's why they win sometimes. But whenever you notice in our country, and we could have lost this. We were close. They almost got in too deep. But every single time we've said no, we've won. But it takes the regular Joe, the regular Annie, going to work, wanting to just live their lives. It takes them getting shaken out of it and saying, oh my God, things are so bad. We have to do something. And it shouldn't be that way. We should stay on offense. And if we all just thought of it as, we'll give a little for a little time. And then, we'll train up the next person. If we all just did that, we'd be fine. So I make politics interesting. Well, thank you. That's a great compliment. I don't think I do it. I personally, and maybe it's because I believe this, that it comes out interesting for me. I honestly, I'm like, I could sit and watch Netflix, or I could just get on X because it's way more exciting on X. I'm sorry. I feel like in the Trump years, politics is the best entertainment out there. It is wild. It is unpredictable. It is exciting. And it's encouraging. I see it as encouraging now because I see the direction it's heading, and I love every second of it. I don't want to miss any of it. So, I used to be a film buff. I still am if it's, 15 years ago, through the 70s. I was a film critic. That was my passion. I love sports. I still love sports, but not as much as I used to. Man, but I tell you what, politics is way more entertaining than that stuff now. Way more entertaining. Because it's real and it matters. So, $2 from Legendary says, Uber obsessed with politics. U.S. looking for purpose, though. And the U.S. looking for purpose, though. Well, brother, you can find purpose. You just got to find all that you can offer. Like, it might be small, but you just figure out whatever the smallest thing is you can do. And, everybody waits until they're perfect. Nope. Don't wait till you're perfect. Just get out there. Just get out there. All right. Am I a UFC fan? No. I love UFC. I think it's fun to watch with friends. I'm not interested enough most of the time to watch by myself. I just don't care about the fights that much, but I love watching them. I think they're fun to watch, but I don't get into the personalities and stuff as much. I just don't. But when I hang out with people, I love it. Okay. So, thanks, Strayhorn, for clearing that up. I was like, bro, I don't want to kick you out. You're a good friend. No, I'm kidding. I didn't even think about that. All right, let's move on. This is a great little thread here. I really wanted to show it with you guys because we've been talking about the future here on this channel and how 2026 could go to the Democrats in the House, and we should all be prepared for that. But it's not the doom people think it is. And that is what I'm trying to get everybody to realize. If they win the House, it is a blip because it is going to go very badly for them in 28 and beyond. Very badly for them. And they are fighting the most uphill battle of any party in decades after this because of the cultural shift that is happening right now. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, I want to say, in the midterms, there are people freaking out that the Democrats are going to win. They think it's going to end they think it's going to end Trump's presidency. They are wrong. Trump's agenda cannot be stopped by them. The only thing they can do, people don't understand how weak the House is by itself. It can get stuff passed. It can do investigations. It can even impeach, but it can't end the presidency, and it cannot stop a lot of what Trump's able to do. As the executive, he can pass executive orders, which during the presidency act almost like legislation. So he can keep that stuff going. They can't do anything to stop it. It'll still be the same thing. Judges slap it down. Supreme Court upholds it. It'll continue like that, but that's already happening. That doesn't change. The next thing is Justice Department. Trump runs the entire Justice Department, whether it's DOJ, FBI, CIA, and the intelligence agencies. Okay. He runs all of it. He is the head. None of that changes. So investigations will continue. Arrests can continue. All of that doesn't change. Next, foreign policy. The president constitutionally has almost complete control over foreign policy. That won't change. Now, if they win the House and they do not win the Senate, they will impeach Trump and it will fail in the Senate. It probably won't even come up for a vote. We'll see. But yes, will it slow him down? Will it be annoying? 100%. Will they throw wrenches in the gears that slow? Yeah, they'll find everything they can do to gum it up. But in my personal opinion, they will become so obnoxious and show how they're not getting anything done that it'll actually lead to a bigger win in 2028 because the people will be tired of them. You know, Americans are fickle in their voting, especially the mushy middle. The mushy middle always votes against who's currently in power. They just get tired of it because people in the middle who I don't understand how you could be in the middle, but there are people in the middle who actually don't know who they're going to vote for. Boggles the mind, but they exist. In the mushy middle, basically all they're ever voting for is what can you do for me now? And when you don't do for them now, they turn on you very quick. And that's the back and forth the pendulum swings. The mushy middle will vote red in 28 if the Democrats win in 26. I'm just telling you, it'll happen. Next, if the Senate goes Democrat, which is a very massive uphill battle and almost impossible, it would have to be a massive blue wave. But let's say it goes to the Democrats by 1 seat. It's 51-49. Because a 50-50 tie, J.D. Vance is still the tiebreaker, so we still hold the Senate. They have a massive thing to overcome. If they somehow win the Senate, it still doesn't change much. However, it hurts more because now Trump it'll be very difficult for him to get judges appointed. And if a Supreme Court justice gets nominated, that's not going to happen. The Senate handles all the nominations and confirmations. That will be massive. Impeachment doesn't matter. Trump's already beat 2, and the Senate is much stronger for Trump than it was in the past. They know Trump's stronger than he's ever been, and if they vote against Trump, they're screwed. You need 66 votes or 67 votes, I can't remember which one it is, to convict in an impeachment. There's no way in hell the Senate will ever give 67 votes, even if the Democrats win it, for a conviction. So Trump's good. None of that matters. People act like impeachment's the end of the world. No, it's not. It just is annoying and it slows things down, but it won't end anything. So that is what happens if they win the House. It doesn't end Trump what he needs to do. And the most important stuff, Trump's already funded his agenda through the One Big Beautiful Bill. Got ICE funded for 4 years. Got the wall funded, all of that. And they can't turn it down because Trump has veto power. So even if the House and Senate turn on Trump, the veto requires 66 votes to overturn. That's not happening. So don't worry so much. The midterms might go blue and it would suck. I'm not going to say it won't suck, but it's not the end of the world. It's definitely not the end of the world. Now, let's look at 2028. Here's Seth Keshel, the best election analysis out there, because he tracks all the registrations and trends for the last 50 years. He says, I saw a lot of people looking past 26 already putting money on 28. A lot can change between now and then. Presidential elections are a lot more predictable than other elections. People ask me how I often nailed all 56 races for electoral votes and boils down to creating 3 buckets. Here are safe electoral votes for 28. 398 of 538 total are already easy to peg. Look at this. Going into 28, Republicans already have the advantage, 219 to 179. Those are safe. Okay? Safe. Now, when I factor in what I call leaners, I'm talking about states in which I have a high degree of confidence as to who will win. In theory, something crazy enough could make it playable, but at this rate, I would put New Jersey at Dem +4, New Mexico +3, Minnesota +3, with New Hampshire at 1 point. This sucks up another 69 electoral votes. Already, Republicans have 246 basically locked up to 221 Democrats. Now, 71 electoral votes remain to decide all. Republicans only need 24 of the 71 to win. Pennsylvania's 19, Georgia 16, Wisconsin 15, Michigan 15, Wisconsin 10, Nevada 6, New Hampshire 4, Nebraska 1. In short, I consider it highly unlikely GOP nominee will have anything less than 246. Fair 2020 census would have that more like 260. You see what the census is going to do once it's fixed, guys? It's going to lock in 260 or more come 2030. Now, you look at these states, and if they run Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, how many of these are really going to flip blue? Be honest. Maybe Michigan and Wisconsin. Nevada just passed full red Republicans. So if Georgia stays red, which it will against one of those crazies, Pennsylvania stays red, which it probably will against those crazies, it's already done. If Pennsylvania or if Georgia and Nevada go, then you only need one of these. So we're not that far away, guys. You see, 2028 is not going to be that difficult of an election if they run these crazy people, which they probably are. I think my personal prediction is that J.D. Vance is going to win a bigger landslide than Trump won. That's my personal prediction. Because J.D. Vance, the way he talks, or Rubio if he runs, but it's going to be Vance. If Vance runs, he's more appealing to the middle than Trump is. Than Trump. Because Vance has very well spoken. He's very likable in person. And they're going to try to put dirt on him and all that stuff. There's not that much on Vance. He's young. He doesn't have all these years behind him. He's young. He's got a young family. It's going to be very difficult for them to beat him up. I'm just telling you. Rubio as well. If Rubio runs, but here's the thing with Rubio. They will use the neocon thing and the Israel thing against him and they'll use how he went against Trump. Because in the past, and this is a long time ago, but it was in the past, Rubio was pro-amnesty. Not everybody, but he was pro-amnesty bill. Rubio has some skeletons in his closet MAGA's not going to like, and that will be brought up during the election. So just telling you guys, when it comes to the mushy middle, who kind of held their nose and voted for Trump because the Democrats were so crazy, they like Vance a lot more. You know, it's funny because to me, the only people I see get skeptical about Vance are MAGA people. It's never the people in the middle. It's never the people in the middle. So just telling you, I think 28 is going all red. And especially when you factor in, I think Trump by the end of this term will be extremely popular, just like Reagan was in '88. And because of that, George W. Bush won a landslide. All right. So everybody's saying Rubio is going to take it. You guys are hilarious. Rubio is 20 to 30 points behind Vance in all the polls right now with Republicans. You have to win the primaries to become the nominee. MAGA is way more for Vance than Rubio. I'm just sorry. It's just the way it is. You can think otherwise. You can dislike it. That's fine. You're wrong. You're just wrong. And you can go look at the polls. The latest poll had Vance ahead of Rubio by 25 points. So it's not close. It's not close. It's going to be Vance. So you better start making your peace with it now. And Rubio has already said he won't run against Vance. So Rubio's not even going to challenge him in the primary. They're best friends. You guys don't understand how close this group is. Rubio will be VP. And it'll be a monster ticket. It's gonna be just one of the best tickets we've ever seen. Now, it'll win, and when it goes to 2030, we're going to have demographic shifts, which I've already told you, where we're going to be gaining. This is after the Voting Rights Act struck down, which is anywhere from 11 to 19 more seats, after all the redistricting. 2030 is going to bring another 12 to 13 electoral college votes over. After 2030, guys, unless they absolutely destroy something, at least they absolutely screw up everything, it's going to be red for 12 to 20 years, starting in 2030. Just telling you. So the future is very bright for MAGA. Very bright. So people are saying Miller. Oh, listen, if I could just pick somebody to be president just to see what would happen, Stephen Miller would be amazing. Stephen Miller also has no chance in hell to ever become president. I'm just being honest with you guys. Stephen Miller is hated by a lot of people. And because of the sound bites Stephen Miller has in his past, not that they're bad for us who like the intensity, regular middle voters hate it. They hate Stephen Miller. He will never become president, and he knows it. He's never going to even run. So, plus he's Jewish, and right now being Jewish in America, you'll never get elected. It's going to take another 10 to 20 years before America would even consider voting for a Jewish president. Just saying, the Israel stuff has really hurt the trust Americans have right now. and having a Jewish man in power or woman in power because of Israel ties. So Stephen Miller just has no chance. So maybe in 30 years when he's older and calm down, so we'll see. But yeah, it's just not going to happen. Rubio will be the longest serving Secretary of State. Really? No way. Longer than what's his face? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Kissinger. Longer than Kissinger? Really? That's crazy. Miller is very smart. Vance RFK. That would be a very interesting ticket. RFK's. I mean, I'd be shocked if RFK ran. I think RFK is exactly where he wants to be. And I think after he does this, he'll serve as an advisor. But I don't think he's going to run for president again. You know, he didn't really want to run for president the last time. He just saw that the Democrats were offering nobody, so he decided he had to. So I don't think he's going to. And also, I'll say that well, I don't know. It would be a pretty good ticket, but you got to also remember RFK's 70 and he'll be 74. And that does matter. You start getting older. I think America's ready for younger people, honestly. And that'd be him signing up for possibly 8 years, because I think whoever wins 2028 is guaranteed 8 years. I just do, because of the demographics. Because this actually gets easier after 2030, that if Vance or Rubio win 2028, they're pretty much guaranteed to win 2032. So it's going to be 8 years. And that's a lot if you're 74 years old. Not everybody has Trump's energy. Red Leg says, I want to vote for RFK. I think he's good where he's on it. Well, I mean, I'd vote for him if he was the MAGA candidate. I would. I mean, if it's like him versus Ted Cruz in the primary, I'd vote for RFK. I'm just telling you. I mean, if it's him versus Ted Cruz or some other rhino, and I know Ted Cruz is a conservative, but he is establishment. I'm not voting for that. So, all right, let me pull up a couple last things I want to cover tonight, guys. This will be real quick. So Trump is going to be doing a Bible reading here on the 21st from the Oval Office for an hour. And look at the passage he chose. 2 Chronicles 7:11-22. This is fascinating to me because in this passage is this verse, which is, I think, one of the most important verses for what we're doing right now. And it says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin and heal their land. Trump's going to be reading that. That's incredible. So that kind of tells me, look, I know Trump's rough, but Trump is not the heathen a lot of people think he is. I think he's actually become a man of faith. He's a baby Christian. He might have only been a real Christian for the last year and a half, 2 years. So I'm not saying he's a great theologian, and he's still rough. He's got 80 years of habits he's picked up. But do I think he now loves the Lord? Yeah, I do. I really do. He, the way he's pushed Christianity in this term compared to his first term is night and day. He is outwardly wearing Christianity on his sleeve for his, and with his administration this time. And it's incredible. It's incredible to watch. But to read this publicly is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then we have Homeland Security posting this. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not on thy own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. One nation under God. Homeland Security, dude. We have legit Christians running this place now. It doesn't mean you'll like them always. Doesn't mean you always agree with them. Doesn't mean they'll be perfect and pretty. We got the tough Christians, which is what we need. But at any point, like, to say these people are not Christians with the way they're pushing this stuff, I'm sorry. I deeply, deeply disagree. So Anyways, guys, hey, if you enjoyed tonight's show, please hit the like and subscribe. I love you guys. I love doing this show. I really do. I'm seeing some of the Vance hate. You guys are so wrong about Vance. But listen, guys, we can win so much. Like, if we all go out and vote, we're going to win the midterms. And so, obviously everybody should vote. That'd be crazy if you don't. But she stacks sleep. What was that? Slee stacks rule. Also, the Bible verse was a Q drop. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, absolutely. Real Andy Ross, Trump's Jesus picture is actually supposed to be him laying the right hand of God here on earth, I think, because a letter I recently wrote to him, got my 4th letter back, had that line for me. Really? That's interesting. You getting letters from Trump, bro? You better share. Vance Tulsi 28. That would be interesting. That would win over some liberals in the middle for sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I definitely think it's going to be Vance Rubio. I give it like a 90% shot. So Prejean was an overreach. She also might have been put there to be exposed. Sometimes think about that. Sometimes Trump does elevate people so we can all see who they really are. All right. Just so you know. Let's see here. Tucker didn't just fall off. He went full on attack dog. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, listen, guys, I love you guys. I got to call it a night because I got to still do tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow. So we are, it's 1 a.m. here. So long show, but a good show. We are winning. Don't get discouraged. We are winning. We will keep winning as long as we stay engaged, we vote, and we do what we got to do. So love you guys. Please like and subscribe on your way out. And please think about joining, get in the Discord, try the chat. Just click down in the description, hit that link, try it out. Try the Patreon. You got a whole month for free. That's a great gift I give to you. Try it out. See if you like it. I think you'll like the community a lot. I'm in there all the time, and I'd love to get to know you guys a little more. So try it out. If you don't like it, you can leave. No big deal. It doesn't cost you anything. So anyways, you guys are the absolute best, the best community online. I love you guys. I sincerely do. Let's pray and then call it a night. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody watching tonight, Lord. I just pray you'd be with them and bless them and let them feel your presence, God, so they know they're never alone. And Father, let them know how much hope there is and expectation for the future, because you are good and your hand is on so much that is happening. Father, we thank you for the winning. We thank you that's winning beyond even what some of us ask for, and that's why it looks different sometimes. But Father, bless our president, protect him, give him wisdom and boldness, and same for his entire team, everybody fighting for this country. And Lord, bless our country with prosperity, peace, and justice unlike ever before, so that our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids can have a better life and a better country than we ever had. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell